Alrighty. Howdy neighbors and welcome back to the Devine Speaker. Last time we hung out with Fawn. Fawn showed us the fact that he is a badass. Offered to let us stay with him. We said yes. And now we are a magical girl. We have magic powers. Healed him, but got the wounds on us. So whoopsie dupsie. Anyway, let's continue. This time we walked for what felt like forever. On and on. Everything looking the same as if we were going in circles. My arm throbbing with every step. But there wasn't much I could do about it now. I just had to suck it up. It was already pitch black out here. I hope Fawn knows the way. Why can't I read? I watched Fawn's back whilst I walked. He had slim shoulders and a small figure, but he still looked fit. Maybe even more than me. He's probably strong too. Muscular but slim. I guess living out here, he would have to be pretty in shape. I wonder how long he's truly been alone and why. It isn't my place to be nosy, but I can't help but wonder. I don't think he wants to talk about it though, and I won't push him. His short hair was messy from running earlier. Well, messier than it usually was, which is saying something, since it's usually pretty wild anyway. At least he's not injured anymore. I felt at my arm just to confirm that the bandage was actually there. Yes, it was. It really happened. I pulled up my sleeve enough to lance on my other arm. The markings still stood against my skin, as much as the day they appeared. These markings, those dreams, Fawn's injury. What connects them? Is it all just one big coincidence? No matter how much I turned these thoughts around in my head, I wasn't going anywhere. Nothing made sense.
Whoa.
Absorbed in my thoughts, I bumped straight into Fawn when he suddenly stopped in his tracks.
Shh. Look.
I peered out over his shoulder. Body instantly stiffened up.
What is that?
The forest in front of us was filled with some kind of blue, glowing mist that gently swayed back and forth to an unseen rhythm. The color was unnatural yet beautiful, bioluminescence. In the haze, I could almost see faces. Blue, lifeless faces. One second they were there, the next there was nothing. It's as if my mind was playing tricks on me.
The forest spirits. They're angry.
Okay. Fagin, what's his name? The huntsman's in the back. Listened closely to him. My breath stuck in my throat. I stood a distance from the mist and peered out between the trees.
They didn't originally come from here. The town to the west of here. The one that you're so sure is your home. Every once in a while, they dump things out here. Most of the time, you wouldn't be able to tell what they are. But sometimes, they're still whole.
I gulped. Cold sweat ran down my back. My hands shook. I tried to hide them from Fawn, who looked as calm as ever.
Things? I think you already encountered it before. The arm you found before we met.
It's the old people.
They've always been here, since before I came. But they're angrier. More now than ever. It's like they're sticking around for some reason, but they don't really want to be here. I can't think of any reason for such a large amount of bodies to be piled up the way they are. Lately, the flowers haven't bloomed as early. The leaves have fallen from the trees much more quickly. Fruits and vegetables barely grow. The animals stay in my house for safety or hide far away. Something's going on. Plus, that wolf from earlier. The forest seems angry, like it's lashing out at something that hurt it.
thought back to home, to Aurelia Cavella.
They've been dumping bodies out here?
I couldn't watch them for a second longer. They're terrifyingly beautiful, enough to make me feel ill. This can't be real. Surely if I could just look away or close my eyes, they'll disappear.
But the speaker says that those that die get buried in Azros, with the elders that live there.
I don't know anything about that, but bodies definitely get dumped out here, and their spirits linger for some reason or another. I wasn't sure I should show you this. I wanted to show you beauty rather than scary things, but you deserved to know. If you want to stay here with me, then you would have found out eventually. It's better if you learn from me.
I held on to the back of Fawn's shirt tightly. There's nothing I could say.
Let's go back now, okay? Just don't come back here by yourself. I've never let myself be seen by them, and I wouldn't want you to find out what they'd do to you if they did.
Well, Jack the Ripper's over there, so it's fine. Look back at the hazy figures one more time. They float back and forth silently. It couldn't be true. None of it's true. Surely they've come from somewhere else, but where? Where else is there? The speaker wouldn't lie to us. My mind flickered back to his icy eyes. The way he stared down, despite never speaking to me before.
Let's go.
I kept a hold of Fawn's shirt as we turned to leave. Something deep inside me told me not to turn back, but I glanced over my shoulder. At Jack the Ripper. No, it's at the hash-slinging slasher! That's Spatula! The figures had all stopped. They looked like they were staring right at me. Or was it? Right through me. My head whipped back around. I didn't turn back again. Getting back to Fawn's house was both chilling and uneventful. Even though I expected something to jump out and grab me before dragging me back into the pitch-black darkness, nothing came. I held on to Fawn's shirt the whole time, but I didn't seem to mind, so after acting tough in front of him. My eyes darted around, desperate for something, anything. No matter where I looked, I could feel those ghostly figures watching me. It's only my imagination, right? It's just the forest. As I got back to Fawn's treehouse, I went up the ladder as fast as I could, and he quickly climbed up after me. All I wanted was the comfort of walls around me, even if they were in a tree. When I looked at him, his face seemed grim, his expression sullen.
I'm sorry. Would you have rather I didn't show you? I don't know if it was a mistake or not. They've always been there, but they've never left that area. It's like they're stuck there. I don't think they can follow us here, so we're safe. I wouldn't let you be hurt, you know.
He looked away from me.
Don't worry, because I'll protect you.
He spat out that line before turning around and pretending to be busy. He rolled back around, his face bright red.
What's so funny?
Poor Fawn, dude.
I'm being serious.
I couldn't help it. Rather, I didn't want to keep it. Oh, I didn't want to help it. It felt good to break the tension.
No. I believe you.
It doesn't sound like it.
Sometimes Fawn really does seem full of youthful energy. What a brave guy, so dependable. Actually, now that I think about it...
So, Fawn, I know you said you didn't know how long ago you came here, but do you know how old you are?
He stopped what he was doing to think for a moment. His face was still as red as a tomato, though.
I should have turned around 20 this year, I think.
Whoa, no way! I can't believe I'm younger than you.
This whole time, I thought he was the same age as me. His small frame didn't help that.
Wait, how old are you?
It was my 18th birthday 2 days ago.
You got thrown out on your birthday?
You look pretty upset.
Yeah, but like you said, there's always two sides to anything. I might have left my home, but I wouldn't have met you otherwise.
I smiled at him. I wasn't really exaggerating. It's true. Bad things have happened, but Fawn's been the only reason I survived out here. So I have to look on the bright side. Honestly, because we've known each other for much longer than we actually have, it feels natural to be this close to him. I wonder if it's because of his personality. It makes me want to trust him, till I get to know him.
I mean...
He covered his bright face up with his hand so I couldn't see him.
Sometimes you say the most romantic, corny things. It's embarrassing. How do you come up with these lines?
Romantic?
I thought the word over my head. Romantic. Nope, definitely never heard of it before.
What does that mean?
He uncovered his face and looked straight at me.
You know, like, kind of lovey-dovey, mushy.
Lovey-dovey?
You know, love?
Hmm?
You can't be serious. It's what one person feels for another. And they get married, have kids, be in love, kiss, you know. It's that feeling you get in your chest when you look at someone you want to spend your life with.
I've never heard of it.
Maybe this is some kind of forced lingo. Should I try to fit in?
Haven't you seen people in your village in love? With children?
At home. Of course we have children. The speaker usually just pairs people together. We don't get to pick who we end up with. Most of the time it's people of similar positions or class. Then they have children. But I've never heard of love or kissing or marriage.
Sometimes that's for the best, my guy.
You don't have love? Are you telling me it doesn't exist there? How can that be true? How could anyone survive without love?
Marriage, what does that mean?
Marriage. You said that before. But what is it?
When you find someone you want to spend the rest of your life with, you give them a necklace with a gem in it. Usually they're handmade, and they symbolize the promise you make with each other to stay together forever.
For us, it's a ring.
Oh, kind of like the two of us. Are we married then?
His face flared up even brighter.
It's special. You can only do it with someone really special to you.
But you're special to me.
Before I could ask any more questions, he leapt into bed and buried his face in his pillow.
I'm suddenly really tired. Good night.
He seemed kind of embarrassed. He's a little embarrassing. How come I never heard of it? I laid down on my back next to Fawn, arms behind my head. More and more questions. When am I going to get some answers?
Hey, Fawn?
No response, and there was too embarrassed or was already asleep. Quietly stripped down to my underwear. I should think of a way to think of properly. With my eyes closed, I went over everything that's happened in the last few days. This marking, the red-haired man. Yeah, it's all his fault. I didn't even get to hang out with him or his knives. The speaker, who is 100% the villain of the story.
You look just like your father did.
Did he know my father? How? Why? No matter how much I thought about it, no answer came to me. Instead, I slowly drifted off to sleep with the sound of Fawn gently breathing.
Wake up.
Don't be mad.
Quickly. Spreading. Awaken. Wake up.
I looked over my eyes and turned my head to the side.
Another strange dream.
And they're getting less terrifying. I'm slowly getting used to them. What a scary thought. I can understand what they were trying to tell me. Something's kind of uncomfortable. Oh, it's way too warm. I feel like I'm burning up. I tried to get the sheets off my legs, to find that Fawn had wrapped himself up in them. He didn't have any. Why is it so hot then? He's still asleep. A small crease of his brow. I wonder what he was dreaming about. Must have been tired after everything that happened yesterday. I reached out and brushed a few strands off his face. They were stuck to his forehead, which was drenched in sweat. I glanced around the room. There's some kind of faint glow shining through the floorboards. They set the tree on fire! What? Surely it isn't morning already. I looked toward the doorway. The sky was still dark.
What's that noise?
Something's not right. I quickly slid out from beside Fawn and walked up to the door. Just felt tight in the air left my lungs.
No.
A wave of panic crept over me. Trees surrounding the house were engulfed in flames, thick black smoke billowing upward toward the sky. The moon and stars were hidden. Actually, and just surrounding trees that were alight. I was laid at the bottom of Fawn's wooden floorboards, and long until the whole thing was aflame. I grabbed my clothes as fast as I could. To get out of here quickly. Not just quickly, but now.
Fawn, get up, quick!
I shook him until his eyes
There's
opened.
a fire! We need to get out of here, now!
The heat was starting to make it difficult to breathe. Wait any longer. I grabbed my things while Fawn scrambled out of bed.
No.
Fawn stood completely still, staring at the ground. He made no effort to quicken his
Fawn,
pace.
we have to go! Right now! Like now!
I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't mean...
He was holding his head in his hands, staring at the ground. When I yelled at him to move, he stayed still. I have no time for this. I grabbed him by the hand and pulled him toward the doorway. He didn't resist, but he also didn't try to run with me. Just let me drag him along. The rope to get down was already alight, so that was off the
Fawn,
table.
I want you to jump after me. Can you do that?
I looked over at him. He gave me a slight nod, but he didn't meet my eyes. I jumped first, barely clearing the flickering flames that were quickly covering the forest floor. To land safely, I turned back toward Fawn, arms outstretched without a second thought. But he didn't
Fawn,
move.
do you trust me?
He blinked a couple of times. He didn't say anything, he just jumped. I caught him in my arms and quickly set him down on the ground. We stood on the forest floor for a moment, still holding onto each other, the reality of the situation starting to kick in. I followed Fawn's gaze up toward his treehouse. I could have done this. He looked lost. He didn't make a sound, nor did he cry. Flames began to engulf the entirety of his home. Fuck, dude, that sucked so bad. I'm so sorry, my guy. He just stared ahead, completely still. And a smoke of sadness came from him, like his heart had broken into a million pieces.
Fawn, come on, please! We need to go! It isn't safe here!
There's two of them. Shouldn't it be only one? I didn't hear anything about two.
Is that a voice? My ears perked up at the sound of talking. Someone else is here. Couldn't work out which direction the voice was coming in through the crackling and popping of flames. I tried my grip on Fawn's arm. He's still just staring. The smoke was beginning to get thicker. The longer we stood there, the harder it was to see. It was pretty difficult to breathe.
Where's our other guy? I've lost visuals on him. Nothing good ever comes from working with the likes of him anyway.
There's more than one of them. This is bad. If I don't get Fawn to move now, we'll either be cooked alive or found by whoever is looking for us.
Fawn, listen to me. I think whoever caused this fire is still here. We really have to go, now.
I didn't...
I grabbed his shoulder and turned him to face me.
Please, Fawn!
Oh, okay.
I gave his arm a little pull. This time he followed behind me easily, but his eyes were empty. He didn't say another word. Falling embers were lighting the grass around us, on fire faster and faster. Every direction was getting completely engulfed. We had to find a way quickly. I think the gods wasn't windy out. We had only made a short distance before Fawn came to a halt.
What's wrong?
There, to the left.
Left. I just followed him in the same direction. I see two figures in the distance, approaching Fawn's home. They don't look like they had seen us yet. They were looking around the burning shrubs, searching. Must be looking for us. Fawn's house looked ready to collapse, and the fire still burning as strong, not stronger than before. But they still searched. They need to be as far away from this as possible right now. I've seen their lives like that. Are we that important to them?
Shouldn't you two be running?
It's him! Who? Another voice, different from the others I heard earlier, shot out between the sounds of crackling fire. As Fawn and I were preoccupied by watching those two, didn't notice another coming from the right of the tree line. Third person came into view. He was close. Close enough that if I took a few steps forward, I'd be able to touch him. My first thought was to ask for help, but a tug on my hand stopped me in my tracks.
He's armed.
Ah, you noticed.
It's Jack. Jack the Whipper. The man chuckled faintly. His hand, what is that? Some kind of rope. That's the least of my worries by the looks of it. The other hand held a dagger. It's dangerous. I think we should...
You know, it was way too easy to follow you out here. You don't exactly try and cover up your tracks, do you? If I was in your shoes, that would be the first thing I'd do. Guess we can't all be as wise as me, though.
Follow. Vaughn pulled my hand again, till I was standing directly behind him, placing himself between us.
When they told me I'd be tracking some guy out into the forest, I was a little worried. But you know what? The thrill of catching you here is worth it.
He needs to brush his gums. They're white. Took a step forward. He took a step toward Fawn and I. I flinched. A cold shiver ran down my back, and I could feel myself covered in sweat. I heard that voice before, searched desperately through the thick smoke. He was tall and slender, but most of his figure was obscured. Red hair. The only thing I could make out of his face was a sly grin. I could hear Fawn whispering to me, desperation in his voice.
Rain, we need to run the...
A loud cracking noise came from behind. The first part of Fawn's house began to crumble to the forest floor. The two men saw at the base of the tree. The debris had just missed them. They continued their search, oblivious to what was happening over here. One tightness gripped on my hand. I wouldn't be surprised if it bruised later.
I think that could be...
Time for marshmallows! Oh.
Rain, wake up.
Why is that the achievement? I'm so fucked. I'm sorry, it's funny.
Safety. Find him. Go far from here.
Where am I? On the ground, why? The fire? That man? Fawn!
Fawn! Rain.
I set up the world around me span something. Fawn was sprawled out on the ground not far from me. Crawled over to him. He didn't look hurt, but he seemed pretty out of it.
Are you okay? I'm okay. I just... what? Where am I? What just happened?
He seemed a little confused, but I can blame him. I'm confused too. I just hope he didn't hit his head. Checked all over his body. Had a few scrapes, but it doesn't look like he's bleeding. Finally, I glanced back toward Fawn's house. Well, where it used to be. That's just a mountain of debris. What exactly just happened? It was falling, but then... all I remember was a loud bang.
I think it exploded. Did you have something explosive in there?
The ground and trees around us were lightly charred, but the worst of the flames had gone down. Only embers were left sizzling on the ground. My throat felt hoarse from the smoke, which we had something to drink. Everything that Fawn had was gone. Everything he owned, collected, and loved.
I'm so sorry.
But what am I meant to do now?
Honey.
This is all my fault. I'm being punished.
For what?
It's not. Those people.
What's left for me now?
His questioning hung in the air, lingering. I don't know what I could say to him. What to say to someone who has lost everything. Nothing. There's nothing I do to make this better. That makes it even more painful.
My friends. Where are they?
I'm sorry, Fawn. I wish I could do something.
Sitting here wasn't going to solve anything, though. Pushed myself onto my feet, swaying a little at first. Smoke definitely went to my head.
I'm going to see if anything survived the...
Do you think?
Fawn glanced up at me, from where he was seated on the fourth floor.
The other people? I don't know.
I'll come with you.
I held my hand out for Fawn and pulled him up beside me. It's just too awful. I looked sideways at Fawn. Glad to have him by my side. I didn't know exactly what we'll find over there, and I'm worried about the strange men. They're still nearby, or... We walked back toward the smoldering pile of wood where Fawn's house once stood. I could see Fawn's treasures littered on the ground, most of it burnt to a crisp and barely recognizable. I crouched down to the floor and pushed through the ashes and rubble. I picked up a little wooden toy untouched by the fire somehow. An animal. A small, sad smile came to his face when I held it out to him.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I feel like if I wasn't here, none of this would have ever happened to you.
I can't handle this guilt. It just feels heavy, like it's slowly consuming me. I'm the first person he's ever seen out here, and he showed me kindness when he didn't have to. Look at what he got in return. His whole life is ruined in one night. Everything he's built up, everything he loves, all gone.
No, it's not your fault. I don't want you to blame yourself. This is because of me.
I don't know how much longer I can hold back my tears. We worked together to move some of the debris till we finally made out some scraps of fabric, all melted into lifeless bodies underneath them. As disgusting as it was, I couldn't look away. They were people too, even if what happened to Fawn was probably their fault.
I guess they didn't survive.
2 men were half crushed underneath the rubble. Didn't stand a chance. But for their sake, they died quickly when the tree collapsed rather than slowly in the flames. Fawn put his arm around my shoulders, turned me away from the gruesome scene.
Don't look anymore. It'll only make it worse.
You're right. Did you see the third one?
I'm not sure. Everything's so burnt.
He was standing so close to us. I could have almost touched him. He might have survived. If he's alive, is he still in the area? Or did he flee after seeing what happened to his companions? I don't know. Scan the area. Nothing. Wait! Got a glimpse of red between the greenery. What is that?
Wait. Look over there.
I walked toward the vibrant color and pulled back the charred branches that stood in the way. My breath caught in my throat. Slumped against the tree trunk was a man. Long flowing red hair, eyebrows frowned in pain. It wasn't the first time I've seen him either. The man that I bumped into only a few days ago. The one that told me about the Speaker's archives. The man from Aurelia Cavea.
No way.
I heard a gasp from behind me. Neither of us expected to find him so easily.
Shit.
Yes, sir. That's me. That was just a question swirled around in my head. But now wasn't the time. He looked hurt. Slowly and quietly, I inched closer to him. From a distance, I could see he had cuts and bruises, but they didn't look too bad. There were scars on his stomach and arms, but they looked old. How'd he get these? Knelt down beside him. Right now, whatever he did and said doesn't matter. He just needs help. I started as his legs worked my way up. No injuries here. Stomach seemed fine, apart from a bruise or two. I looked back at his face. Eyes that were previously closed in pain now bore into me. He does not look happy. I'm too close. Barely a second went by before a blade was pressed against my throat. I froze. What do I do? Pushed a knife against my skin. Felt a warm, stinging sensation. I had the feeling of something wet running down my throat. I swallowed, but my mouth felt completely dry. His eyes hadn't left mine the whole time. They were watching me, as if he was judging my every movement.
You're injured. Let me...
You think I need help from someone like you?
He smirked at me. It was obvious he was still in pain.
I'd die before letting a pipsqueak like you...
This sentence he started coughing abruptly, a loud, throaty cough. That was my chance.
Gotcha.
Hi, Fawn. Before I could do anything, Fawn came up beside me, knocked the blade right out of the man's hand. My hand went instinctively to my throat. I met with a wet sensation, but the cut didn't feel very deep. The sting was only mild. When the injured man started reaching for something else, I noticed red all over the hand he just coughed into. Wait, something else? I quickly grabbed both of his arms. Both felt toned and strong. He was definitely fit and much stronger than before, but his injuries must have weakened him a little.
Fawn, see if he has any other weapons.
I'm looking at them right now. 1, 2, 3, 6 other daggers. And a whip.
You're well equipped.
Well, I was. Now I'm not equipped at all.
Yeah. I look over his arms. He's barely fighting against me now. I peered into his face again. A line of red trickled out from the corner of his mouth.
Which parts hurt?
Not much of a doctor, but there must be something I could do.
Which parts hurt? God, where to start?
My pride.
My legs, my back, my stomach, my throat. But you know what hurts the most?
I looked at him eagerly, ready to try to help.
That I have to see your dumb fucking face this close up to me.
He smiled to himself. I guess he thinks he's really funny. He is correct. How does anyone deal with people like this?
Excuse me. We're just trying to help you.
What's that? I'm sorry, I don't speak mouse.
Oh, sorry.
Don't say sorry. He's being rude to you. And you obviously need help, and we're going to give it to you, whether you like it or not.
I'd like to see you try.
How unappreciative can you get? Why is he so opposed to help that he obviously needs? The other day, what did Fawn? Maybe we could try that again. I don't owe this asshole anything, but if I could take away just a little bit of his pain instead of all that. I don't know how to, but it couldn't hurt to try, right? Fawn's already stripped one of his weapons. Unless he's injured. It shouldn't be too dangerous to touch him, right? Last time, all I did was touch Fawn and it happened. I reached my hand out toward him. His arm was covered in cuts and bruises.
Touch me, and see what happens to you.
Sounds like an empty threat to me. What are you gonna do?
He's struggling to just keep his eyes on me. I doubt he'll do anything now. I ignored his words and lightly touched my fingertips to his wrist. Yeah? Flash of light, boom of voices. Not. His skin felt warm and nothing happened. For last
What the
time.
hell are you?
I tried to cough violently again. More blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. And the resistance he had before was gone. I didn't even shake my hand off of him.
Are you okay?
Get lost.
Just let us help you.
His eyes slowly narrowed before they fully closed.
Fawn? Why did he close his eyes? Is he okay? What do we do?
Fawn rushed over to my side, tossing the daggers and whip to the ground. I put the man's throat carefully. All I could do was watch. I hope he's not dead, but I'm going to end this episode here. I don't want him to be dead. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you later.